Hello, 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 and welcome. I apologize for being just a few minutes late. This is Dana Hagstrom coming to you live from our home here in Chapala, Mexico. We've got Tip Tuesday live, and so excited to share today here in our Online Business Builders Facebook group, as well as on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel, Ask David and Dana. So no matter where you are listening in, watching on a replay, I'm super excited to share this, and I would love to hear your feedback. We're talking today about one of the best ways you can get people to actually make a decision. You know, in our business and in your pathway to profit, we talk about all of the things that lead to this moment. You are building a relationship with people and you are becoming an authority. And at some point, the people that are following you need to make a decision and say, yes, I'm going to get out my credit card and I'm going to buy that stuff that you have. And so doing a challenge, hosting a challenge can be one of the 5 ways that we teach that can be very, very effective. And if you're part of the Online Business Builders, you know that we are going to be doing a challenge right here in this group starting on Thursday. And so we will kind of weave that into this presentation so that you can understand how challenges work, what you need to do to be ready for a challenge if you're the host, and so forth. So first of all, as you are listening, if anybody's here live, I cannot tell, but if you have hosted a challenge, I want you to put in the chat or wherever the comments, if you have hosted, just put I have hosted, even simply put host. I just kind of want to get an idea if you have hosted. And if you've not, but you've been thinking that that's the right way to get people to totally make a decision, then put interested in the comments. So for our private coaching clients, we had a special guest this week come and teach a little bit about challenges, and she has given us a gift so that I can share it with you. So I will make that available. If you are interested in a challenge, you might want to grab her gift. It's a challenge in a box. It's everything that you would need to have to build a challenge. But for those of you that are listening in and you're going, what day now are you talking about? What is a challenge? Well, a challenge, it could be called like a clinic or a workshop. It's a number of days, like ours is the, create your irresistible opt-in giveaway in just 5 days challenge. So ours is a 5-day challenge. And at the end of it, you see, I've made a promise. That's another key. You will make a promise of transformation. So if you've been in a challenge, maybe it was to drink more water. I've been in a challenge like that, where it encouraged you to drink more water so you could feel healthier and get into a good habit of drinking more water. So it's some sort of a transformation where ours promises that at the end of 5 days, you are going to have an amazing lead magnet that's going to attract 10 to 15 high quality leads every day. So a challenge is gathering people together. It's a community event. You can host it wherever you want to host it, but there are many people hosting them on Facebook, in a Facebook group, perhaps. And it can also be done automated. And we have if any of you have been in our 5-day workshop for recruiting on social media, we've got that automated. So we've done it once, we've automated it, and now it can serve our audience on demand. That's another thing you can do with your challenge. But the key things with a challenge is, first of all, of course, it makes a promise of transformation. It also encourages people to connect and engage. So it's a great place for people to meet, for you to shine as the one who's leading or hosting. It's a great way to, build your know, like, and trust. And the other thing to keep in mind is that it's not like involved, super involved. You want quick wins. You want the people that are attending your challenge, whatever your transformation that you promise, you want them to have quick wins along the way. So if you're thinking about starting a challenge, the first step to doing that is to pick your transformation. What is it that you want to help people achieve? Now, that's going to be different for everybody, depending on perhaps what you're good at, what you've already had for your own transformation. If you're hosting a challenge, you can be the expert, or you can host a challenge and bring in experts to do the teaching for you. So don't sit back and say, oh, I can't do a challenge yet. I don't know enough. Don't limit yourself. There's lots of people out there you can collaborate with. You can host it. You can bring your audience, but you can have other people help you. But the important thing is you want to be authentic, and you don't want to teach something you don't know or that you haven't already done yourself. That's just simple marketing. So think of something that you've had a transformation. Hey, Brian, good to see you. That's what you can base your challenge on, some sort of a transformation. So think about what you know, what you've done, that sort of thing. But then beyond that, the next question is, will people want it? Will people want that transformation? Now, this comes back, of course, to knowing your audience, knowing the people that you're serving. Do they want this, or what do they want? So that's a question when you're putting together a challenge. Make sure that it's relevant. So this challenge that we'll be hosting starting later this week, we're going to help people build an irresistible lead magnet. People want leads. People need something like this that will help attract those leads. And we're going to show them exactly how to do it, give them every single step, give them a template, the whole 9 yards. So yes, that's what people want. We are going to provide a challenge for that. So now, why do people do challenges? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. You see a lot of people doing challenges these days. It's probably the best way to present an offer. The whole idea of a challenge is to give a transformation, right? To increase the know, like, and trust factor of your audience. But at the end of the day, on your last day, you've built the relationship, and now you have permission. It's kind of one of those things that goes without saying, that if you're in a challenge, you know that on that last day, they're going to give you an offer for something. Maybe it's something, $5. Maybe it's something $50. Maybe it's $1,000. Maybe it's just come to something else that's free. We'll be inviting folks that are in our challenge to come to a free masterclass next. So, we're just continuing the conversation. We're helping people dive deeper. They've received the transformation we promised, and they are ready for more. So that's the idea of a challenge, and why you do a challenge, and what a challenge is. So again, if you've done a challenge, let me know. I'm curious what sort of transformations that you've seen, that you've helped accomplish. And if you're curious about starting a challenge, I can hook you up with some great tools for that.
Now, the gal that was teaching last night for, I guess that was Monday, yeah, last night for our private students, our coaching clients, she talked about the tools that you would need to do a challenge. And it isn't what you might think. You don't need a full production staff. You don't need a lot of, stuff, but you do want to set aside time to plan it. I attended a challenge to learn how to do challenges, and that teacher would lead us to believe that you could put it together in a week and go. Well, I'm a little bit more, I took a little bit more time than that. I wanted to make sure I had all the pieces in place, but certainly I think it was probably 3 weeks later, and we were a go with our first challenge. But you'll need a CRM or some way to automate your emails, because you're going to want to stay in touch with the people. And having it into our Facebook group, I've got to make sure the people that are attending, that I have their emails and their permission to send them the follow-ups, to send them the reminders to watch, the replays, and all of that. You also will need a landing page or some sort of a funnel that collects people that are interested, and that's how you get their emails. And you'll also want to probably have a Facebook group or some other community where you can host the challenge. Because you're going to be engaging, and you're going to be connecting with people and answering questions. And so having it in a setup group or community like a Facebook group is very helpful. And if you don't have one of those are super easy to set up. You can Google it and figure out how to build a group. And then the other thing you want to have set up ahead of time is a payment processor. And that will speak to the things that you will be, selling at the end. You want to make sure that's all set up and ready to go, so that you're not scrambling on day 4 thinking, oh my gosh, tomorrow I'm selling this great new course and I don't have it set up yet. So whatever you are planning to share, to build to something that is congruent with what the transformation is. You don't want to necessarily teach them some great exercise habits, right, at a 5-day challenge, and then all of a sudden give them something about building a business. It has to be congruent. So what are those things? And make sure when you're planning your challenge that you keep all of that in mind, the end in mind. And then, of course, the last step, and the funnest step for me actually, is planning the content. What are you going to say each day? And knowing that people only have a little bit of time. I won't make anything more than 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. And that's only if we've got a lot of engagement going on, and if we're doing any sort of screen sharing where I'm showing people the good pieces, or giving them an audit of their lead magnet, later this week. That'll be kind of exciting to see what you're all working on. But keep your content to small, consumable videos, and you can pre-record those and have those all set to go in your group, or you can do them live. I will be doing them live, and I just love that extra interaction. And that makes it fun. So those are some tips that I wanted to share with you about challenges. And I'm sure that's got your little wheels turning for you as you're thinking, oh, what could I do for a challenge? You've got so many great ideas, but think transformation, think what your audience wants. That's always the key. Anything you do in business, and you've probably heard me say this before, think of your audience. What do they want? What are their pains? What are their desires? Think on that. So if you aren't already in the Online Business Builders group and would like to be part of our challenge starting on Thursday, go ahead and put
challenge in the comments. That will remind me I need to reach out to you and get you linked into that. And otherwise, I will also put a link to that challenge in the box resource that I talked about at the beginning. So if you are thinking about a challenge, you may want to have those tools available to make your life a little bit easier. And it's been great. I always love sharing tips with you and love being able to bring value to this group. And we'll look forward to launching our challenge later this week. So until then, be safe, be blessed, and be well.